Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Ta Single Mom. Am I the beehole for telling my daughter's father we are not a family? I, a 33-year-old female, am a single mother to a 6-year-old girl. I've raised my daughter all on my own. She was born from a one-night stand with a now former friend, a 37-year-old male. We never got together. He refused to be involved in my pregnancy or my daughter's first 4 years of life. I was stressed out emotionally because it's a big change, but I never asked for a child support or forced him to be involved. I have enough income to send my daughter to private school. I'm perfectly fine on my own. The issue started when he reappeared from wherever he went and decided he wanted visitation. He is not on my daughter's birth certificate. Father is listed as unknown. He wanted to have that amended. I said no, and if he wants, the best he'll get is to meet her in outings with myself or my daughter's godparents. He agreed, but he's been constantly pressuring to get parental rights. Court already gave him a big fat no, unless he pays 4 years of child support, which with his income goes somewhere around 200,000 plus USD. He hasn't paid a cent. My daughter doesn't even call him dad or recognize him as dad. She calls him Mr. I keep it very clean. I never bad talked him, never made up stories when she asked about her father. I used to say it was just the two of us. Even during court-assigned CPS agent testified that my daughter had no affection or clear relationship with her biological father. Now the main issue happened in a PTA meeting. He would say things like, "My family thinks," or "What's best for my family." I didn't agree with him, and I voiced saying, "My daughter has different needs, and those are priority." He was clearly angry. After the meeting, there was a moment for teachers and parents to mingle and just talk about how the kids are doing. One of the teachers approached me to apologize, saying she didn't know my husband and I didn't like the project she was doing with the kids. I told her I had no husband, and my daughter loved the project and wanted to be a part of it. The teacher then told me that my former friend was going around talking like he's my husband and he represents the family. I saw red. I walked to him and very loudly told him, "We need to talk in private." In the parking lot, I told him we were not a family and that he will either respect I'm the only one that can make decisions on my daughter's education or he won't be involved. He went on about being her biological father. Then I reminded him he had not paid a cent for the pregnancy, my daughter's needs, or even the private school my daughter is in. He hasn't tried to see my daughter since, which she doesn't mind at all. I asked her, I do feel a bit bad about what I said. Am I the beehole? I wanted to add this because the PMs are driving me insane. He has the money to pay child support. He chose not to pay. I can't believe I also have to say this. He was never prohibited from being involved. He has my phone number. I sent him pictures and invited him to birthdays and other big celebrations. He never came. Hi, OP. I'm glad you added that part at the end, because I've heard stories of dudes wanting to be dads and the mothers keeping them away by using the courts and stuff like that. But from what it sounds like, you gave him every opportunity to be involved in his daughter's life, and he chose not to. And now he's coming around acting like he's the dad all of a sudden when he's contributed nothing to that child's education or raised that child at all. He didn't even have to pay child support. He got off real easy. But yeah, he did overstep his boundaries acting like he's the father all of a sudden. That's basically a stranger trying to act like he's your husband because you haven't been in touch with him for a while now, and I don't know why he's doing this. What's the point of this? Does he just suddenly want to be a family man now? But OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. You made sure you set a boundary. He jumped over the boundary, and now you reinforced what would happen if he stepped over the boundary. And yeah, not much to say here. You're not the beehole. Our next one comes from Motivational Sandals. Am I the beehole for refusing to pay for the damages caused by my sister-in-law, proving a point? My boyfriend and I, a 23-year-old female, are currently taking care of Nina, a 15-year-old female, my boyfriend's half-sister, because her parents will be out of town for a couple of months. I'm average build, but most of my paternal side are very tall and heavily built. Nina is not short, but she is willowy. She looks like delicate and fine bone. Nina has been doing a couple forms of martial arts since she was 7 or 8. A couple days ago, I took Nina with me to pick up a few things at my uncle's. My cousin Ted arrived early from another city, so we stayed so we can catch up with them a bit. Everyone welcomed Nina and asked her how her life in another city and her hobbies and whatnot. My cousins, Ted, a 22-year-old male, and Cole, a 17-year-old male, were openly staring when Nina told him she could does martial arts. Ted used to wrestle in high school, and Cole is on his school's varsity football team. They said it was great she took martial arts to defend herself, but suggested a couple of objects she can use against really big strong guys she may be unable to handle. Nina said size doesn't matter, and she can protect herself against all attackers of any kind. Again, Ted and Cole stared at her and asked if she was seriously thought she could protect herself against someone their sizes. Ted was 6'4" and Cole was 6'3", both over 200 pounds. Nina said yes. Cole then asked Nina to go to the living room and told her to try to fend him off. We watched as Nina dodged Cole's grab until he managed to hold her ankle and brought her down. She tripped him in return and tried to shake him off while he tried to pull her to him. In the process, they pulled the rug, which upset a table, knocking it into another table, and the vase on it fell onto the floor, broken. My aunt came downstairs and gave everyone involved a scolding, telling them the house was no place for a fight. She then said Cole and I owed her a new vase. I told her this was all on Cole, who suggested they fight in the first place. Cole also said it was on him, but my aunt wouldn't have it. She said this was a teaching moment for Nina to own up to her mistakes. Nina offered to pay, but I refused to let her. Ted stepped in and said he got his mom a new vase for Christmas, so this was a perfect timing, and there was no need to make this a big deal. Nina and I left, and my boyfriend agreed we shouldn't have to pay. My aunt later called me and said I was being selfish, and that the vase wasn't even that expensive, but it was the principle of the things, that when you broke stuff, you need to take responsibilities. Am I the beehole? I think I'm gonna go with everybody's the beehole on this one. You for not stepping in and saying, hey, don't, fight in the house. That might ruin things in the house, destroy things. Both parties involved were old enough to know you don't fight in the house. So I'd say, yeah, they're both responsible. Yeah, Cole's the one suggested it, but Nina was the one who went along with it. She should have been like, not in the house, maybe the backyard. Little weird they started sparring, but I kind of get it. That was, maybe it wasn't even weird, because I think that would be a good teaching moment for Nina. Yeah, if someone's bigger than you and they have more weight on you and they have more reach on you, they're gonna dominate you in a fight. And you're scrawny. It doesn't matter what. Okay, if you know techniques like grappling and if you can get behind them on their back, choke them out, yeah. But like in a normal fist fight, no, the person with the more pounds is gonna win most of the time. So I think if that vase hadn't have broken, Nina would have saw how easily she gotten overpowered, and would be able to assess the situation a lot easier. Because I know when most people, take something like karate, I used to, but I was back when I was a kid, you think you could take on like 20 dudes at once. If you don't have to fight, don't fight. Because fighting one person, even if you win, you might take damage. And, you might not be able to recover from that damage. And if there are multiple people, you look for a way out of that situation. Like I said, 1v anything other than 1, you're probably going to lose. But yeah, I kind of wandered off there. Yeah, everybody's the beehole. I'm not going to say you guys were terrible, but everybody's a little bit of a beehole on this one. Problem's kind of solved because they bought her a new vase. So, happy ending? And our final one comes from Zesty Close Look 1352. Am I the beehole for not accommodating my non-vegan niece? One of my nieces, Aria, 15, is vegan. She is very sensitive and hates animal cruelty, which is why she turned vegan a few years ago. She even hates watching people eat animal products. So, I was hosting my entire family, and I decided to look up some new vegan recipes that I haven't tried before. I admit, the food didn't taste very good because it was my first time making it, but Arya was very happy that everything was vegan. Then my older niece, Olivia, age 14, tried the food and she looked pissed. She asked if there was any non-vegan thing that she can eat. I said no, I'm afraid everything is vegan here. Olivia then started angrily asking whether it would kill Arya to be near some meat or some cheese, or whether it would kill me to make some non-vegan option for her. I told her to be polite, and she told me to go F myself. She decided not to eat her food, and then asked her parents to come take her home early. Now her parents are calling me a beehole, saying I always favor Arya, and I should have accommodated Olivia as well. Yeah, OP, you're the beehole on this one. You knew these two girls were coming, and you knew one ate meat, and one was a vegan. That was nice of you to make vegan options for her, but that doesn't mean you should neglect the other one and not have some non-vegan options for her. How's that fair? And from what I hear in the story, her parents saying that you favor the other one, yeah, it kind of sounds that way. You can't throw a steak on a grill, not a grill, a pan. You can't fry a steak for her. You can't, make her a burger. Yeah, you're obviously favoring the other one. You went out of your way to make vegan food. Most people don't make vegan foods unless they're vegans. And maybe it wasn't cool for her to tell you to go F yourself. But yeah, I'd be angry too watching another, family member of mine get favored by someone and not even be able to eat. I get cranky when I can't eat. So yeah, OP, you're definitely the beehole on this one. Um, Make food for everybody. Don't single out another person. That's not cool. And as for the other one, the vegan one, that sucks that you can't be around people who eat meat and animal products, but there's a lot more people in the world who are like that, and you're gonna have to get over it. And yeah, enjoy your vegan food, but people are gonna eat meat. That's the way of the world. That's just the way it is. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.